Yeah, last game of the year. There is no beating around the bush now.
Hmm.
Especially since I now have box text again. So, Candace, you here?
Sorry, I was muted.
Alright, roger, roger. I guess your net's running a little late, but that's fine. Let's see. Just... Alright. But yeah, you guys... Well, one of you should explain what happened last game. Almost got past it this time. Alright.
We all nearly died.
Okay, elaborate.
We fought some big ants, and it started out going really well, and then it kind of stopped going really well, and then we won.
We blew the piss out of it.
I mean, you liquefied it.
Yeah, lost a crap ton of money.
Hey, it was worth it. That was really fun.
I
Yeah.
still think you made out with a lot.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Plus, we got some fun stuff. Some stingers and some like legs and.
I mean, none of those are in useful condition, except for the mandible you harvested. And you did blow the piss off of those things. Let's see. But
We got desperate.
yeah. Alright then.
3 sets of sharp ant parts and 1 jar of ant poison.
Yeah,
And then, of course,
the vial.
the reward.
Vial. Yeah. There's a distinct difference between jar and vial. You were able to get a vial from it, because you'd actually have to milk it if you wanted to get a large quantity.
You.
Like a snake. Anyway. So, as you guys exit the newly abandoned anthill, you can already tell that, well, A, it's probably not going to come back anytime soon. From what little you can tell, if there were anything else left to this hive, it wouldn't be capable of keeping it suspended. There's only a minute number of other tracks you can find around the area, and even then, the damage is still too small even for a hive of this kind. But traversing back into the city, you are greeted to...
No, we
not
haven't
yet.
received yet.
But you are all
I thought
greeted
it's
to...
in the treasury, or
No, we haven't received any money yet.
Hey,
no, we
We haven't-
found money though.
hey, you looted the previous guys who went to take this on.
Right.
Yeah, I assumed that was in the party fund.
It's currently in chat. Or everyone beyond that is up to you guys.
I just. Oh yeah, that's the 80 and the 5 platinum. Yeah, I just added that to the bag of holding number.
I got you.
Yeah, it's an awkward number to divide anyway, because a bunch of change.
Yeah. My recommendation is treat it as all copper. Platinums are 1,000, gold are 100, silver's 10s, and copper is 1s. It makes it so much easier. Alright. Hey Josh, you haven't missed anything. But as you guys are returning back the way you came, slightly battered, some of you mildly bruised, others of you worse for wear, you're greeted to the odd sight of the surroundings of the surrounding village that you had passed through, not only beginning to abandon, but moving in large numbers. They seem to be almost gathering themselves into groups and parties of their own, most of which are being loaded into carts, such as the more frail in fame, as they begin their trek to the Emerald Glade. Most of them don't go out of their way to acknowledge you, although there are a few casual glances of of people who probably presumed you either gave up or lost a lot.
We look pretty rough.
Well, that, and you saw what happened to the last individuals who went through.
They probably look better, let's be honest.
You look better than they bet. But as you begin your relatively slow trek back into the Emerald Glades, you're all granted to a rather peaceful sight. As in the days returning, you see the first beginnings of snowfall. These small little specks of white purity beginning to drift across the landscape. And by the time you get to the Emerald Glades, almost the entirety of the swamps and neighboring areas are coated in a thin film of this frosty wonder. Making it to the gate itself, you can see that there's countless individuals here that are all trying to get into the gates. Though where before you've seen them with large carts wearing goods or like travelers of any kind, here you see the opposite. You see wounded and sick. You see old and young, men, women. You see families huddling together in ramshackle carts that even make yours look good in comparison. Where there used to be hundreds of people trying to get in at any point during the day, this looks to be almost thousands. There's even other gates that you had no chance to look at before that seem to be also filing in. The walls seemingly modular and able to, drop and lower to allow a larger volume of individuals. So, waiting into the gate, it does take you another couple hours to get processed. Is there anything you guys want to do while you're waiting? Yes, no?
I mean, we're in line, right? So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that I know how to turn in the contract.
Yeah, basically you just got to claim the kill at the Hunter's Lodge.
Right.
I mean, and you have enough parts from it to relatively claim that. But yeah. But the line...
Where's the magic, stop? Do we get to a certain point in the line and it cuts off? Or is it just within the city?
I think it's within the city.
Within the city. As soon as you enter into those gates, you start to feel that hum again.
Okay, I'm gonna do ancestral blessing as a ritual because we are in this damn line forever.
Yeah, no, you'd have the time.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna tell Aromax that I'm doing it, I'm just gonna do it.
Please cast a spell for me again, because I'm pretty sure it's touch.
Oh yeah, she's gonna just get up on that grill, but she's not gonna
30 feet.
ask permission. No, she's gonna touch him anyway. Just gonna, because
Yeah.
they're in line, it's kind of hard not to bump into each other.
Unless Armax finds this odd, you are the one who lost a good chunk of your appendages, so I presume Ayaja has helped you try to make back your plumage, which has started to come back. Though you don't have the ability.
Covered in goo.
Yeah, though you don't have the ability to fly yet, you do start to get your hop again. So you basically can move around like a kiwi.
That's
Woo!
adorable.
Yeah, basically.
No, you didn't. Don't let him know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to step out for a second. What did I miss?
No,
You're in
no,
line.
it's fine.
All right. Okay. So yeah, what are you trying to bless him with?
I'm trying to do the oracle thing.
Oracle. You ask a spirit a question in which answers the ability?
Yeah, I asked you about this 2 or 3 games ago. To see if I can get any repressed memories, since technically he has a spirit.
Well, you asked. That asked the spirit. Oh, your ancestor spirits. All right. I mean, basically, you would contact one of, someone who would consider themselves ancestry to you, and they would answer the question.
Oh, so it's not like a spirit in general. It's just someone
No.
in my past.
You call upon your ancestor spirits, and then you ask the spirit a question.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind that whole thing. She's touching on the bird anyway because she still blames him for all the fucking goo.
I mean, it looks like it's helping. I mean, even even Will's starting to look significantly better now. I mean, not great, but getting there. Right? But the hours do pass, and it is a slow and arduous trek that 50-50. But you go through the rigorous process again, although, like last time, you don't have to wait through the long line within the gates itself. They just let you walk through. And as you enter into the city, you find it, well, first off, incredibly busy. The streets seem to be almost full to the brim with individuals that don't seem to look like they belong here. Many of these being demi-races. And where the streets were always a little compact because of how the city is, now it went from Portland to New York. I think that's the best way I can describe it. So as the city hustles and bustles with a myriad of more individuals, you are also kind of disheartened by the fact that what snowfall you saw outside does not actually cross the barriers itself. And the inside is almost entirely dry except for the small little, I guess you'd call them islands, where these small patches of grass that function as little mini parks that do seem to have a layer of a artificial frost that disintegrates upon touch. More cosmetic than anything. But you're within the city again. It is crisping nightfall, but you are within the city. So what you gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna go turn in this contract, and then I'm gonna get some rest.
I'll help him turn in that contract.
Do you plan to take a gondola, or are you just gonna walk?
I'll just walk.
Alright.
Like, when Brain gets tired, it's more exhausting to deal with people than it is to just do physical exertion.
Well, walking your way there, you're going to have to go through the crowds. Like, there's barely enough room for any, form of vehicle to move through.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, let's take a...
We'll take a granola.
We'll take a...
Yep. Alright.
Were you about to say granola?
No. I was actually trying to think of another joke to put, but I got nothing except natural green. Anyway. Alright, getting to one of the docks, you can see that it's equally as crowded, though thankfully there are far more gondolas than there are roads. So it does take you a couple minutes, but you can flag one down. It's 5 silver for the trip. Yeah.
I don't think we'll have to worry about that.
Alright. Well, hang up. They're well aware where the Hunter's Lounge is in assistance. I can't pronounce names. It takes you to the Hunter's Lounge within this ring of the city, and you do get there. You do, for the first time, have to see many different gondolas moving through the air. Even up here, there's minor bits of traffic where there are actual areas where you have to stop as larger ones that seem to be transport vessels are moving through. Most of the larger ones seem to be going inwards towards other parts of the other cities. But after half an hour or so, you do make it to the Hunter's Lounge. Fuck you. Lodge. While they're doing that, does anyone else want to do anything?
I need a nap.
Well, your rooms are still there for you if you want to, pay up again, because they didn't keep them for you. But they do have rooms to spare. Thankfully, this being kind of a dive bar, not a lot of people are staying in here. But the bar is far more crowded than it has been. You can see your green whispery friend seems to be hopping in between all the rafters on the top. Just bouncing around between different conversations, listening in to wherever he can. Yeah. It's still 2 gold for the night. Presuming you guys want to pay that.
Do they have any like frequent flyers program or maybe a punch card for like a free night?
I mean, if you want to rent a permanent room, they'll rent it for you at significantly cheaper, but you have to pay for the year.
No.
Yeah.
I'll pay the gold.
2 gold.
Yeah, 2 whole gold.
Yeah, but that does come with food and amenities, so you are able to wipe off well, your magic is able to remove most of the gunk and scum, but you still feel like it. Not in a bad way, but just like, it was nasty in there. It's nasty. Alright. What do you got? Ayaja, Eleanor? You guys want to try and do anything?
I'm at the inn too, buying room.
Alright. Then, if you buy, like, a room, it's still gonna be 2 gold.
Yeah, I have money now. I'm not poor.
Yeah. Which is probably a wise decision, as I presume Eleanor also pays up for her room as well.
I do, but didn't I have a thing about getting armor? Like fancy armor?
Oh, if only there was some old chitin you could use.
Did we actually collect anything from them?
You've collected a vial of poison and some mandibles. Wouldn't even be enough to make a small toy armor.
I mean, we could go back, because Eleanor left early, so...
We could make...
Killed it, so...
I mean, he still did have armor there.
Yeah, make a survival roll now. I think that'd be fair, since,
Oh, no, actually, no, you're right. Eleanor?
Yes.
Right. You did drop out, you dropped out 1 round before they killed everything, so there were large carcasses of insects. The ants themselves. If you wanted to, I would let you try to roll to salvage something.
Oh, and there was that one that I hollowed out for her already with the water cannon.
No, there's the one... well, no, that one wouldn't work because you cracked it.
What roll was it?
This would be survival. Yeah, unfortunately, your compatriots are rather brutal with how they dispatch these things. There's huge cracks and gashes on anything that could have been useful. You would be able to salvage not anything usable to make armor, but maybe enough to make some bracers, or some interesting boots.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. For fashion's sake, I'd say you can salvage together a couple of mandibles. Or, not mandibles, I'm losing my insect knowledge. Basically, the hands they used to stab you guys with.
Pincers?
Well, no, because that was their mandibles.
Legs?
Yes.
Antennae?
The legs, what they used to stab. That was their stinging. Alright. Now then. Alright, so you're going to head over to there. I presume you're going to walk? Eleanor?
Yes, sorry.
Alright. Walking there, it'll be well past sundown by the time you get back. Presuming nothing happens. Alright. But...
Okay.
Right. Then we return to the Hunter's Lodge. And you two are... Well, Bran is welcomed in. You are tolerated, Armax. Though the interior isn't as hostile as one would think, it is now freshly decorated with more trophies. You're beginning to see that this place does seem to have a decent amount of business. And even now you can see, well, a myriad of other creatures, mostly very heavily furred creatures, and more than a few hunters here seem to be heavily furred themselves. It appears you weren't the only one preparing for winter. But behind the counter again is that same old human. Although now he's just leaning back in his chair, seemingly pretending to sleep, but not doing a good job at it.
You recognize that Armax came back.
Still pretending to sleep.
I'm gonna go ahead and go knock on the counter.
Oh. I gave up on it. Nah, no worries. I think he was a bastard anyway. But if you got me dead, we can process him.
You're right. Sure was a difficult one. And I slap the contract and slap the amp parts down.
I'm imagining the contract is just layered with ant goo.
There is a thin mucus layer on many of the things Bran possesses. But yeah, you put down the contract and the remnants of the queen. And he doesn't seem all that shocked. He just sort of leans forward and just double checks. It's like, well, someone had to kill that bitch. Oh, hang on. Alone? Or did it have something?
There were children.
Yes! He leans back. He leans back into the where the upper area is, which is a staircase. Shorties are paying for drinks tonight. New guys killed her. She wasn't alone. And you were met with an applause and a general. As it seems there was a bet on whether or not the queen had anything.
Well, who was stupid enough to take that bet? Of course the queen ant has children. That's like asking if a cart has wheels.
15-1 odds.
I feel like the bird squawking in the background was the translation of what Aramax's real reaction was.
It's a guy with a falcon on his shoulder in the back. He also lost money.
No, there's just a bunch of budgies in here.
Well, no, it's a budgie who owns the falcon.
It's a budgie bounty hunter.
Don't think they'd be that hard to kill.
A budgie hunter.
Well, while you're collecting the reward for this, do you happen to have any other contracts that offer something with a sturdier hide?
He the man has turned around to you and started opening a small safe. And as soon as he hears, he's like, "Even if I did, I couldn't give it to you." As he just plops down this sack of platinum. Yeah, this is yours.
How much is in it?
It is 720 platinum. You are 1/5 the way to buying a potion of vampirism.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it.
How many copper is that?
Whatever 998 times 1,000 is.
998,000.
Okay, that's how much copper platinum we have.
Alright.
Okay, so why can't you give me another contract?
You brought in a time to kill. Yeah, rules are rules. You brought in something big. We gotta leave the rest of the stuff for someone else. Help spread out the hunts. That way, one group just doesn't, steamroll everything in the neighborhood.
There's a cooldown on collection of bounties.
So this is one of the larger lodges then.
Oh yeah, no, that was the prime hunt for the season.
I got you.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it resets in a week, but
I don't usually visit lodges that are this filled. Most of the ones that I go to are small, and so they don't usually have the cooldown. But I understand. I could use a drink anyway.
Hey, we also give a rat's ass about the population. If we hunt everything to death, nothing left for us to hunt.
That is it. Excellent point.
Alright.
Okay, I'll scoop up the money and turn to Aromax.
Can I get some of that?
How much you want?
Oh, just enough to buy a nice set of clothes.
You already have some. You asked for money last time.
I know, I want to buy more.
You want to buy more clothes?
Yes!
What's wrong with the clothes you're wearing?
They're not fancy enough.
We're not buying you fancier clothes. You're probably just going to burn them.
That's why I need more.
We'll buy you more when you need more.
Alright, we're gonna just have some then.
I will give him 1 platinum piece.
No, you should just give him enough for a Godzilla ride.
How much does a Godzilla ride run for?
Depends on where you want to go.
Yeah, they don't start popping up till the spring.
Because I'm just picturing like one of those little like shaky carts that they have out front of the grocery store.
See, not many of those. Bunch of rocking horses, but those don't seem to have a price tag on them.
Yeah, just a couple of platinum in case I need to buy something for me.
Alright, that's it.
Alright, let's go sleep.
Alright,
Yeah.
Oh.
I am exhausted.
alright. Well, good hunting. Remember, it's calamitous season. Stay warm. He just goes back to filing his papers. Well, pretending to file papers. He's clearly trying to look busy without being busy.
He's just shuffling empty papers.
Yeah, but he's doing it the wrong way.
What? What, is he showing people the empty papers before he starts?
And some of them are not lined up. It's basically if a child tries to shuffle a deck of cards for the first time.
Oh, God.
Alright, well. Back to Elenil. Was anyone going to try and join her on this? Because that would be Yanit and Niaja.
She's going to which place?
The armor you guys met once before.
Oh yeah, I'll go with her. I'll let her ride Sinuru instead of just walking, because fun as that is.
Right, you go to do so, and you were given a lot of incredibly dirty stairs. As there is just enough room for people to move through. A creature that exists the same space as 3 people is frowned upon almost instantaneously.
Oh, God,
The
you're...
Asher cares, but that elk does not give a fuck.
Oh, God, you're one of those people who brings a bike on the subway.
It will take you... He'll take you past nightfall to get there, as with the density of crowds, the elk is slower than you guys.
Oh, she's just sitting on it. She doesn't really care about speed. Like, if she loses sight of Elenil, she'll get off and kind of try to weave, but besides that, yeah, she'll stay on.
Alright. Alright, so it's... Ugh. Yeah, it's past sundown by the time you get there. And you do get to the same place that you saw before, a quaint little shop that has like an amble symbol in front of it. And by the time you get there, it is already closed. You guys got here during the afternoon, and just showing up this late, almost anyone here seems to be turning in. Damn.
Okay, well, I walk up to the shop.
I mean, the shop door is still there. It still has a door on it. It has the big,
I
like,
walk
close
in
sign
if it's
on it.
open.
No.
You walked into a door.
I mean, you walk up, you go to open the door, and the knob won't turn, and there's just a closed sign just in the window.
It says push, not pull.
Can I just look around the building to see if there are any lights on? Maybe he lives on the top of his, on top of his shop.
Make an investigation check. Moving around the building itself, it is a 2-story building for a 1-story shop, so it seemed only reasonable that there would be, though you don't see much in the way of lights. You do, however, find a staircase on the backside that folds up like an attic, like an attic ladder, that seems to lead to a door upstairs.
I go.
And, well, you pull down the you pull down the steps and you do climb up, and there is a door there. It does seem to have a little bit of light on the inside, but you really can't see much. It seems to be just candlelight.
I lightly knock.
You're just like a small shelf, and just like, what the? And you see the same half elf, just pull across the curtains to the single pane of glass on his door. It's like, can I help you?
I wave, hi. Sorry, I kind of got here late, but I just wanted to drop something off, and I pull out the mandibles. Could you make some out of this?
Sure, come back when I'm open.
Cool, can I just, leave the mandibles at your door?
Please don't, they smell horrible.
Alright, fine, I'll just sleep outside the door, and I am going to walk next to the door, get on my knees, and transfer 4 hours. I will be there when he wakes up.
He closes the small little curtain he has on the window. Ayasha, what are you going to do?
I know what trancing is by now.
Yes,
traveling.
absolutely.
Okay.
She flaunted it the first time you guys met.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna order the elk to stay with her, and then I'm gonna go back to the inn.
All right.
Okay, it's her choice. She wants to do this. I support it.
All right. So she and the elk are going to stay there. The elk expresses confusion in this, but understands. Not confusion as in he doesn't know what's going on, but confusion as in he doesn't know why it has to go on.
Neither does Asha, but it's a thing now.
Yep. He still respects your command.
Yep.
Alright, so... Yeah, by about this, Unit's basically conked out if he wants to be. And the rest of you would get back roughly around the same time. Armax and Brand would get back first, but you'd be maybe an hour behind. And I presume you guys are going to pay for rooms as well?
Yep.
Alright. He takes the payment, offers you some food for the night, and you all go to sleep. Oh boy. Elenil. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect this. Let's see.
You're welcome.
Can you please make a constitution check for me?
Saving throw or just regular?
Regular.
You said please. You could say no and just refuse.
I mean, she could, just an automatic fail. You are more than free to fail anything I ask you.
Oh, no, I'll try first.
Let's see. Was that 6? Interesting. Well, the night passes and... Well, I should say the night is beginning to pass. As by the time you were able to get to sleep, meditate, it's roughly past midnight. Though funny enough, the cold air does get to you, but without your reliance upon metal, it's not horrible. It's not good. You're gonna have split ends in the morning, you can tell that.
I'll fix it.
Right? But as you are doing this, as you're meditating, around the end time of your meditation, you do hear a small bit of commotion come in from the alley that you came in to find this guy's shop. It's not much. You can just hear a couple people like rattling a few, like what sound to be like metal and wood objects, possibly a cart of some kind. You can hear low talking, but in meditation you're not particularly paying attention for it.
Could that noise bring me out of meditation? Like, how far into meditation would I be?
No, basically it's whether or not you're paying attention to it or not. You would notice it and you could break it if you wanted to, but you just yeah, it could if you wanted to, and at this point you would still get the benefits of a long rest. Not a great long rest, but a long rest.
Yeah, I'm curious now.
All right, so heading back down the ladder, the
slowly and silently heading back down the ladder.
Oh, stealth check.
Please fall.
I mean, there's an elk right there at the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah, no, I was getting to the point where the large semi-luminescent elk is staring at you.
I'm not with him.
He's with you. He couldn't go up the stairs. You basically lower the staircase on him.
Nobody needs to know. So I'm very sneaky with the 20.
The elk is confused. Oh, and you can actually...
I do a shush motion.
It's aware of it. And you do turn the corner and you do see what looks to be a... damn it, how do you... I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. You see like a... can't talk. Carnival troupe. You see a bunch of individuals that are in brightly colored outfits, mostly oranges and yellows, that seem to be moving what look to be musical supplies. And they're just packing more stuff onto the cart as they keep beginning to try and wheel it out. There's about 3 individuals. 2 of them look human, yet there's another one that's much smaller than that.
Does any of that stuff look like it could have came from the store?
Absolutely not. They are far too garishly colored. It's odd. Like, they're unloading it from the other building next to you. Which, it was just a domicile. But yeah, you can see these 3 individuals just loading stuff into a cart. Not trying to be subtle about it, but they're not trying to cause a ruckus or break anything.
I then wave and see if they see me.
You wave and they are just far too distracted. As they cannot see you.
I call the stag over, sit on the stag, and have him walk through so they notice me.
I mean, he was ordered to stay with her, so yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So he does come to you, but he does not allow you to mount him.
Then will you just walk with me?
Oh no, he follows you.
Okay, I walk through, hoping the really bright stag will,
And that does
grab
get their
attention.
attention. As the small the individual sit at the front of the car, just, ah!
Hi!
What the hell is that? Who are you?
Is the stag? I'm Elenil. Do you guys need help?
Well, yes, to be quite honest, but,
Okay, and I just start picking up stuff and helping them put it in their cart.
Oh my god.
Yeah, not gonna look a gift horse in the mouse. Or even if it is a stag. Let's see. Right, and yeah, they accept your help, and you can just move in. Like, nothing is terribly large. It's mostly, the largest thing is a small crate, but you could fit it in your person if you wanted to. And look at
Okay,
it
good,
is,
because my strength is horrible.
yeah, no, it's not enough to be a challenge. But you are getting a better look. It's not only musical instruments. There seems to be collections of fireworks. There seem to be small gags and gifts. There seem to be toys. There's a myriad of things used for festivals or carnivals. A lot are cheaply made, but not cheap for the sake of being cheap. More cheap for the sake of being expendable.
So, what is all this stuff for?
Oh, well, it's Calamity season, so we're helping to bring some peace and joy.
It's who me whatty season?
Calamity. Oh, you're not from around here. Oh, mainlander. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
They call me Rook. He's bishop. He's knight. We're how do I explain this? Well, it's winter, so we tend to. I am God. I can be whatever I want to be. I could be you if I wanted to be. But yeah, well, the asshole up north. You know, the emperor of the frigid who gives a fuck. And he tends to use the winter when he attacks. Like, this is his time of year. So, you know, in order to keep spirits up, we put on small performances, plays, tell jokes.
Interesting.
And something has to drown out the sound of siege weapons.
True, so where's this going? Just back into town?
Oh, we rented one of the little outcroppings further north. We can handle it from there. We just needed to pick up some things. And no sense storing them on the outside.
Uh-huh.
Really, though I can't really offer you anything in return, we are always looking for, more individuals who are willing to help. Put on a good show for the kids. Distract the wearing souls. All
Really? I could turn into animals.
Terrifying, but that sounds entertaining.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Huh. Well, tell you what, we're putting on a small performance that we're retelling the landing of here on Asiri. That's gonna be the first week, but past that, we kind of just go through whatever gigs we got. Be more than welcome to have another friendly face around, especially one that could do something like that.
Oh wait, I can't do Magic of the City because it's a stupid place, so I can't do all my tricks. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'm not a gifted soul, so I don't really know much about that.
Yeah, it's sad times.
But hey, we can always use a couple extra performers. Some jugglers, some laughers. People to
Oh, that would be
fill out
great,
the stage.
but I have stuff to do. Could I meet with you later? Because I'm waiting for the shop to open, so I'm just gonna sleep here.
Oh, that's fine. We're still preparing stuff. And just if you ever got time, swing on by. We probably got something you can do.
Cool. I will definitely hit you up.
All right. Well, that seems to be everything. Thank you so much for this. All right.
I hug him.
He doesn't expect it at first, but he does, return it. It's like, thanks.
You're welcome.
Keep your spirits up. Come on, guys.
Okay, bye. I wave.
All right. Right, so you're going to wait another 4 hours?
Yep, I'm gonna go back up. I will ask the elk to stay by the stairs and bleat or something when the guy opens the door, in case I'm too distracted. and then I
Just
pet
stare.
him on the head, and then go back up and relax.
He doesn't
Like
give
an
a
elk right in your face. Like he is staring. Like if you put your hand out like 2 inches, there's an elk right there.
well,
Okay.
he cannot get up there.
Well, no, I mean stand by the stairs down.
He's
How high
basically
up is the loft?
Ah.
it's a single story, so about 7-8 feet.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
Yes, if he could just be the lookout while I sleep, that would be great.
He tilts his head to the side, which you presume is him agreeing.
I say thank you very much and scratch him behind his ears, and I promise him some snacks when we get back to the group.
Just glows a little brighter.
Alright, well, waiting another 4 hours, which you really can't chain meditates like that. Bad for the health.
I'm gonna try, damn it.
But yeah, you now being awake for it, you are now aware that it gets cold at night. And even though there's no snow falling in, the air around you is still natural. So as the surroundings get colder, so does everything within the city itself. One. So, about 9 hours later, you're meditating on his doorstep.
Yep. Well, right next to the door.
It's basically like a fire escape. There is no next to his door. There is the door, the 3-foot square
then,
that
yeah,
you
on the
inhabits,
door.
and the stairs. Yeah, you are just there, and you are rudely broken from your trance as the door smacks your knee.
The elk bleats after, well, not bleat, the sound they make in Dragon Age. After you get hit with the door, not before.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I give him the okay symbol.
The hell?
I said I would wait here, and I give him the mandibles. How long?
What do you want me to do with these?
Make something.
What?
Whichever's easiest for you to make out of those.
Oh, like, you... What?
Yeah, so how long will it take?
I'm not an artisan. I follow directions.
Fine, can you make me nice boots out of these things?
There we go. I don't know about being nice. I'm not exactly a tailor, but
Well,
I can
whatever.
definitely do something.
Okay, how long?
Material's shite, so not that long, thankfully. He starts turning over the stuff, and he squeezes it slightly, and you can start to hear it crack. It's like, 3 days.
Well, don't ruin it.
Relax. 3 days or so, I'll probably have something.
Okay, see ya, and I leave immediately.
Hold on. There needs to be a deposit for this.
How much?
5 gold. Hey.
I give him 7. Keep the change. That's your tip. I wink and leave.
A deposit is not a final payment.
Just a deposit. You didn't say I had to pay for it all, and I leave.
Make a persuasion check. With disadvantage. As you're basically trying to get him to work extra for very lit. Alright.
Even the elk winces like, eh.
Okay, how much more money do you want for your deposit? She air quotes.
I mean, he doesn't say anything past that. You tell him that, and he's just there with the mandibles.
Fine, I go back and give him 15 more. Is that enough?
Yes, fine. What? You don't know how businesses work, do you?
No, is this enough? Can I go now, please?
Yes, fine. You can go.
Thank you. In 3 days.
See what I got.
Alright, thank you. And I leave. Now I finally leave. But I walk slow, just in case he has something else to say.
I mean, he didn't say anything the last time. It's just like...
Okay, I look back and make sure, and then I leave. With the elk.
You basically see him go into his shop slightly confused. And yeah, the elk does follow you. And Ayaja, around this time, you do get a message from him, because you're within about a mile.
Give me the breakdown of the whole night, or just...
He really can't convey that much, but he does basically describe how she doesn't know how cities work.
But he does. That's really sad.
Yeah. And he also does mention the weird clown people. Not much past that, just they were weird and she talked to them.
I'll send a thumbs up.
Alright. But yeah, alright. Ooh, yeah. So the rest of you do wake up, and in about another couple hours, Elenil will join in. Which, by the way, Elenil, you are starving. Because even though you only need to meditate to survive, you still need to eat.
I go to the bar and eat as much food as I can.
And you're going to have to pay for it.
I got money.
You're not good for a silver for, a decent meal.
I give him a gold since I have no silver.
He's more than willing to break it, but, if you want to give it to him, then yeah.
Just snaps the coin in half.
You get a fine meal. It's
Awesome. I want a fine meal.
I mean, you get, turkey and decent wine and, Cheddar Bay biscuits. I'm making shit up as I go. But yeah, you all do eventually reconvene. Slightly better for wear than you were the day before. So what do you want to do?
Oh, boy. See. Okay. Team. Our next move is to destroy that tower that is wrecking everyone's boats.
How's everyone feeling, though?
You're not at full strength. You're getting there.
Not well. But there's still plenty of research that needs to be done on the tower. Questions to ask, scouting to be done before we actually make the attack.
So do we want to go to the town center to research or anything?
Oh, let's go meet with the clown troop, I say. Between bites.
I'm sorry, the what?
Trouble.
The troop, you heard me.
Yes, apparently they were clowns, and also, Elenil, you're terrible with the money.
These tall clowns eccentric with money?
Wait, some clowns took her money?
No, I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to understand an elk, but even he understood she's terrible with money.
The clown understood she's terrible with money?
No, the elk, I can speak. Never mind.
Oh, what would the elk know of spending money?
I'm just gonna go eat breakfast. You guys talk.
But this is a team decision.
You already know my feelings on this. I prefer if we were up to snuff, but, I'm just one voice and you already know it, so I'll just go over here.
Okay. Well, figure out what our best plan of attack on the tower will be. However, the town is quite a ways outside of the city if we're going to begin scouting. Can anyone think of any research that might plausibly be helpful to be found within the city before we begin making our way south?
Well,
I still think we should go to that troop place, but that's just me.
as much as I would love to reconvene with circus folk, I should also like to blow up a tower.
Reconvene? Been with circus folk before?
Yeah, haven't you?
I just look to him and say, you have met him, right? He's crazy enough. I'm sure he's met with lots of different people.
I've been in a troop too. And she just kind of goes back to her team and she's not in the conversation.
I give her a high five for also being a part of a troop.
She receives the shit of the high five.
Is the troop a good source of legitimate information?
They might be. They get a lot of rumors and I'm just gonna go at the end of the bar. I'm not here.
They're also seedy as everything, so they do dealings with everybody. Politicians, crazy people, lobster boys, all sorts of stuff.
I'm just having trouble seeing how doing whatever with this troop is going to help us achieve our end goal here.
I was just gonna say go to the town center and meet with the city officials, see if we can get something going there.
And apparently somebody pulling Wolf Brand into a goat.
I heard like a razor.
Who actually attacked the tower again? Just the mages? Or just the Archmage?
From what you heard, the Archmage did try
Right.
to assault the tower, and the tower, well, sorry, not tower, fortress, shook it off. And you have heard rumors that even an Iron Helm was not able to take it down.
Yeah, so I'd be kind of curious to see if we can't meet this Archmage. Because the boat's not going to tell us much.
I mean, Armex, you do realize meeting the Archmage is literally the entire reason we're attacking the fortress.
Details.
Like, if we met with the Archmage to attack the fortress so that we could meet the Archmage, we could just skip all of that and just meet the Archmage, get the information on our super shiny rocks, and then get back to what we're supposed to be doing.
Use the pass that we have. Oh, forget it. She's gonna pull up a chair and just get right up into the conversation.
We could use the pass, however, by destroying the fortress and accomplishing what the Archmage couldn't, despite the fact that he tried, we would also ensure we gain faith.
Or insult him. It seems like these lovely people are a bit, what's the word I'm looking for?
Pretentious?
Yeah, thank you, voice from the sky.
It's a whisk. He's above you, just looking and listening into the conversation.
While that's true, everyone who is pretentious has proved that they are in the fact that they haven't attacked the fortress and only kept their own interests in mind. The Archmage, as far as we know, is the only one who has attacked the fortress.
Well, the biggest issue that I'm having with this plan is if an Archmage can hit this shield with stuff and it not do anything, if it just bounces back, do you think it'll and an Iron Helm's gonna hit it and not do anything? How are we gonna get past the shield?
That's exactly why we need to go scouting first.
What do you think some local fisherman's gonna figure out?
I mean, you have been basically told any ship that tries to go near it, either sinks or disappears. Like, it only took 4 or 5 ships before they realized that they just needed to fuck off from this thing.
Do they sink like you see wreckage, or do they just poof?
From what you've been hearing, and you have been hearing a lot more now that the town is fully impacted, you hear a lot of people talk about how There are just ships that crumble to dust. You know, others will say they're lifted into the sky and dropped.
But all of them have been rather large ships, something easy to see coming.
Multiple crewed ships.
As far as we know, nobody's actually attempted anything stealth-wise.
No. That and the fact that it's 2 days off shore. Yeah. I apologize for the cartoonish figure, but yet there's 2 hexes to get to it. That's just its area of influence. The no-fly zone.
All right. So we've got a boat that's We've got a man-made island that is knocking the shit out of everything.
Yes.
And
we need to destroy it. At least clear it out.
or control it.
I mean, I'd be up for a free fortress.
Oh, hell yes.
Either way, we need more information in order to accomplish this task.
All right. So yeah, all right. We'll go to the town.
We also need to make sure that we're stocked with everything that we might think. Because the last thing we want is to leave the city, find out what we need to find out, and then come back to the city, restock and supply, and then go back down, and then travel across the sea.
What town are you talking about?
The one we're standing at, the city.
Oh, yeah. Look up the fucking name.
Because I figure if we're going to have to go by tiny boat, the easiest way would be to go back down to this place.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
Come at it this way.
That's White Rapids. There's no tiny ship that makes it across that.
That's what I'm saying. Like we can't go at it from here. We have to make our way all the way down here, and then go up this way. So the last thing we want is to make our way down here, and end up having to go all the way back up here, and then have to go all the way back down here again. Like, we need to do everything in the city that we think we possibly need to do, because we're not going to be coming back until we accomplish what we need to do. Any questions?
One. Do we have an actual plan? Because, I mean, it sort of sounds like a plan, but it's still, let's go find out and see what happens sort of deal and over-prepare. I feel like there might be a better way.
Well, here's my question. Okay, so this thing's in the middle of rapids now, right?
The river that separates between where you are now and where you came from is White Rapids. It is the ocean filling into the center. The water around it is calmer ocean, but most of what it is swamp, and what little actual drivable water there is for large ships goes right next to this thing.
So we can... Now, you say it's swampland around the fortress?
No, the fortress is in deep water. That's
Okay,
the problem, because it's basically where any large ship would have to travel through.
All right, so there's nothing in the large channel, though, and the large channel is, right here. Now, the port has... Everybody who's gotten near that thing is in the port right now, right?
Mostly anything that didn't leave to try it is in the port. Nothing's come in months. Because the only way they can get there is if they go out to deep sea, which is almost a year's travel if they even want to get to Port Cullis, or they'd have to go up north to through the frigid Calamity, and nothing has been up there and survived. Like,
Yeah, then the only other option would be to just kind of go past it and just kind of go up at it through the channel on a small boat.
Yep.
How long do you think that would take?
minimum
with-
weeks.
With Eleanor's assistance, probably less time than it would without.
How would Elenil assist?
She can turn into something big and fishy to boat.
You know, for a few hours.
Yeah, it's not that long.
A few hours of making good time is better than no hours of making.
I could look up something. Keep talking.
So,
Yeah, if she pulled a rowboat, she would go slightly faster than a rowboat could. Which it would still take you 2 or 3 days per hex. That's presuming she didn't have to stop. Like,
okay, but you said there's only like 2 hexes if we come at it from down here.
yeah, you still have to get there.
What if... Let's see. We don't have anything that can go underwater, do we?
Do you?
Has anybody tried? Oh, guys.
Yeah.
Need to find out if anybody's tried to take an airship over this thing.
Well, the airships only work in the city, right?
As far as we know.
What powers the airships?
Do you
We
ask?
don't-
Love.
Oh,
It is a
we're
powerful
fine.
thing that can make one man weep. And how do I get to make that joke twice in a week?
Well, I think I said something about the power of love in a completely in the last game we were in. Yeah, because your guy was going to use the power of love to go to the Fae.
Right. But yeah, like asking around, you do hear that the Scondolas only work within the city limits, but their power comes from the air yard that is in the center, that is under the Arcanus Magnum's power.
How much you want to bet that if we get some crazy suicide people, they'd be willing to loan us a boat?
Not
Yeah,
to
but the
ins-
boat is limited to a specific area. It doesn't have its own. We might be able to convince the Archmage to.
We don't need a return trip.
Not to insult Elenil, but technically she would be a mount. I mean, I don't know if it would work. The spell's a bit weird, since I assume her intelligence is higher than but I might be able to make her faster.
I am not a mount. I am an elf.
I mean, while you're a shark or whatever, I'm not quite sure how this works. That's the spell, I mean.
Oh, I figured.
Yeah, I mean, she has more intelligence, but what happens? Like, how do you overload an animal?
Oh, it wouldn't work because she
Dang
keeps
it, I
her.
can't even use this on my own mount. He's too smart.
Yeah, because of the intelligence modifier. Like-
Boo.
So yeah, why don't we?
Right, so
Would there
let's
be
plan
any
that
way
shit.
to build a floating like a hot air balloon or something like that?
I mean, the concepts have existed.
So yeah, what if we try to just build a hot? We don't need this thing to go. We don't need a return trip. Is really what I'm trying to say.
Right.
And assuming that this place probably isn't built for siege. Like, this thing's built for being sieged by boats and cannons and archmages in a corner.
Unless they take over Ironhelm, in which case
They're
they then
probably
have
not
siege
expecting
engines.
people to just kind of hop in.
So you're thinking, what?
I don't know. You think we could possibly sneak into this place by going up and over the top?
How would we go up and over the top?
I can kind of fly a bit more.
Okay.
And Eleanor can turn into a bird. I don't know, we can make a parachute.
Make a parachute?
I don't know.
I'm starting to put that together, yeah.
Nice. I'm just not seeing a way to get to this thing, even if we go to the smaller town.
Well, we can't go by ship. You know that for sure.
Yeah. Or at least we can't go on a ship on the surface.
What other...
There's- I don't know, a ship that goes underwater?
Those don't exist. You're making that up.
I mean, magic is a
I-
curious thing.
I would never make up such a ship.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll deception on that. He's full of shit.
With us working with the... Now I forgot what it's called because we haven't used our medallions in forever. Dang it, what is it called?
Knights of the Amarant Court.
There we go.
Yep.
God dang, I feel stupid. We worked a while before meeting up, and they did before meeting up with me. Do we know of a method, magical, hinting at magical, to get in? Because I know we can't get past the barrier, but can we teleport right outside the barrier?
And unfortunately, the Knight of the Armored Court is more of a, as I put it, it's more ceremonial than actual concrete. But you do know that the others, the sister cities, the Citadel Flag and the Emerald Glades, do respect the badge. It doesn't have any power, but they respect it.
No, what I mean is, from us working, do we know anything? Like, any leveled clerics we met, or druids, or whatever, that could basically teleport someone?
I would imagine if anyone could do that, it would be the Archmage. And since he did...
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Do we
Well-
know of that method?
Everyone roll intelligence. You can roll history or arcane if you choose to.
I am super smart.
I didn't even think of anything.
Alright. Bran, Iaja, not really your field. Magic is magic. There should be something. Yanid, you are well aware that there are spells that should be able to get you, if not in there, maybe into there. Though you would imagine that an Archmage would know that the Archmage would have access to those types of abilities. You don't know anyone local. Elenil, planar travel is in your job description. You can't do it yet, and you haven't met anyone other than a few old masters who could do it. But there are definitely spells that do it. Armax, you're pretty damn sure Bort could get in there. You don't know how, you don't know why, but you're damn sure he can get in there.
Who I think can get in there?
Hello!
Yeah, he would be able to get in there, because I wouldn't want him in there.
Oh, Elena, did you get my message in Discord?
One sec.
Alright. Alright, so what do you guys game plan?
Yeah.
Honestly, it sounds like the best course of action is to go to the Archmage. If there's
Look,
anyone who's been sitting and thinking about it the most, it's gotta be him.
The problem is, all we have is a token to get us to the center of the city. That doesn't even grant us admittance into where the Archmage is.
That's not entirely true. Hey, Ynit, what's your background again?
Sage.
Which grants you access to sacred libraries and tomes of knowledge because of your pedigree, and the entire reason you're even on this continent is because of your research. So though you don't know if it would immediately get you access to him, it would get you in his building. Okay.
It's better than bad.
And I can probably try to BS us into a room with what's his name. If not, I can just blow the doors down.
That sounds like a terrible idea. Let's do it.
That's a joke, right? It's really hard to read you sometimes.
You can see Armax's pendant just begin to flicker lightly, very festively.
It's a joke for the moment.
Yes, joke. Ha 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 ha. Ah. Ah.
So is that your plan?
Oh, dang.
You completely believe him.
You know, if you'd asked me, I would have said you have advantage on it because you've been with him for so long, but no. I mean, Armax is supposedly funny. Sounds like this could be a joke.
I don't get it.
Exactly. Alright. So what's your point?
Just write down in your book, Airmax equals funny question mark?
Airmax equals truthful question mark.
No, that won't even write. He tries to write the question mark and it just keeps, this pencil keeps breaking.
Comes back a week later. What the hell's the square root of Armax?
Oh, and I also let everybody know in 3 days I get to pick up my fancy boots.
Congratulations. Let's hope we're still allowed in the city.
Well, the way we're gonna do
Yeah,
that
let's
is
go
fine.
see those clowns now.
We will meet the clowns when they are dead and buried. We're going to go see an Archmage.
Asia,
That made no sense.
would you still prefer to wait until I'm fully recovered before we even go see the Archmage?
I mean, we can talk, of course, but it might kick things off. I don't know the man or woman. Is it a man or a woman?
We don't know.
Besides, if we even get in there, we at least can, just get like a house or like a room in there. We got money.
Not that much money.
We got enough to afford a room.
In the center of the city.
Yeah, no one ever goes in there.
But we made such good friends with... And is he still staring at us, the little dragon?
He just doesn't have the popcorn. But yeah, he is hanging by two claws overlooking you guys like a bat. He's basically a boom mic.
He's just hanging by a tail like a possum.
Yeah.
Do you have any input on this?
He only gives input if you give him drink.
Hold a cup up to him.
Know what kind of drink to get him.
He still reaches for it.
He's just not going to give us any info.
He never gave you info till you paid him.
You know what? I'll give him. I'll buy some of his stuff if he has a good idea on how to meet the Archmage.
All right, it's still 5 gold.
I will spend my 5 gold.
All right. You flip a half silver over to the barkeep, and he doesn't give you the bottle. He instead pulls on one of the shelves really quickly, and one of the bottles pops up and lands on the beam. And you can now tell that the beam is tilted as it slowly moves towards Whisk. And he just instinctively rips back up, grabs the bottle, and spins back upside down and is essentially nursing it, looking at you guys. Though, where before he was listening, he is now waiting.
You know an easy way that we could meet that Archmage fella? We got a ticket into the town, but just want to make sure we don't waste it.
It's like, pops out the bottle, it's like, I don't know specifically, but if yous can get there, yous can probably talk to anyone in the academy. And from there's, who knows? There's many a person there. If I was to suspect, whatever thing you keep talking about that's so important you need to bring to him might do the trick.
Are there any people we should watch out for? Not bad, just unsavory, perhaps?
In the center? Nope. The other houses rarely visit. That place is magi only. Though I haven't heard a single thing bad about them. They're the entire reason this city still lives.
They're getting ready for Calamity season, and I bet the Archmage would be real happy if you could find some people who would be willing to do the work to help in getting rid of that fortress that's popped up just before they might get flanked on both sides.
I bet he'd be really, really happy if if we were to visit him and cheer him up.
Never met him, but he seems to be a force of good. But you only have maybe a day.
Before what?
Till the Calamity comes.
And then what happens?
Then you get to see why these walls are 5 feet thick. Same time every year.
So, Archmage will be busy. Gotcha.
I couldn't tells you. No one has seen him in millennia.
That makes sense.
He's also the only one who can sass the other houses. The only one who's lived. Of course, no one knows what they say. You'd have to ask them.
Well. I guess we're gonna go see an Archmage.
Does that mean we could do magic?
I assume, maybe?
Probably need special permission. We'll find out.
We'll let the bird try. That'll be our test.
It is an arcane academy.
Good idea. I like your idea.
But it's all
Regardless,
written stuff.
we don't have the time to wait for it to get better. Sounds like we'll have to make our way there today. So, does anybody have anything they need to do in this part of the city besides me? There's a couple of errands I would like to run before we go.
Rations may be cheaper in this part of the city.
I have my good berries. I could always bring good berries.
I mean, yeah, between Goodberries and Bran, you guys are not want for food.
Saying if we ever get stuck in a, say, dark, cold dungeon,
Goodberries would
maze,
still work. Like, Bran only fails if you guys are in someplace that lacks food. And Eleanor can produce food anywhere.
Yeah, it's once a day. They last 24 hours, so I do it right before I go to sleep.
Yeah, like Lucy. Good times.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna go to the armor shop first. Anybody want to go with me?
I'll go with you to the armor
I
shop.
will.
I don't think we should leave those 3 alone.
That'd be a good idea. Especially since those 3 have all of your money and the least amount of sense.
So they have the most sense and the least sense.
Yes.
Perfect.
Physically rich, mentally broke.
I like it.
It's a rare but pleasing combination.
Group name idea. Write that down.
Not gonna lie, I was also thinking that too. You know, just being senseless.
I like it.
So I guess we're all gonna go to the armory shop then?
Yes. We shall go to the armory
Party
shop.
time!
Well, the streets are still crowded, but it does take you a couple hours before you get there. Alright. And
Hello?
like, walking into the shop, it's actually busier than it was before. There's multiple different people, though they seem to be more interested in mundane objects. Mostly a few sets of like well-wintered boots, some heavier mittens. Again, this guy's not a tailor, but he seems to know his leather. He's currently behind the counter right now, fiddling with what looks to be an old set of moccasins.
Hello.
Ah, hi.
Hi.
Oh, hell, it's her.
Yeah, okay, cool. Last time we were in here, you had some sort of set of magical light armor.
Yeah. I got it from one of you folks. Yeah. It doesn't exactly sell off the shelves around here.
You got it from one of us folks as in adventurers, or one of us folks as in
Yeah.
someone...
Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
suicidal bastards who keep thinking that hunting dangerous things is a good idea.
Right, super cool. Blood hunter. How much is it, and what does it do?
Right. Well, he begins going into the back, and he wheels out what looks like studded leather armor, but instead of having metal bolts, it instead has these what look to be fine, polished wooden buttons, and these rivets across seem to be made out of a very dark leather. And, well, I just need to look something up because I thought you guys were going to abandon this. He wheels it out in front of you, and you can tell by its color scheme that it seems to be very bright and light. It sort of has these sort of wispy white textures to it, as well as like accents for the darker leathers. So, got this from one of them fist fighter types. Looks like it'll fit you fine. Let's see. Too many notes.
You're good, man. Calm down.
Oh, I'm on a time limit. Oop, yeah. I mean, there's more than a few of them upper society kids who just love to have this on their walls, but, you know, they're flaky at best. I'm looking at 7K for this.
Okay, and what does it do?
Let's see. Get up again. Well, whoever wore it was fucking fast. Like crazy fast, even for the hand types. Like, I couldn't even see where he was going half the time when he was zipping around my store.
Okay.
Like,
As in the armor made him fast?
well, he took it off and he got a bit slower. I also swear I saw that guy jump an entire horse cart, but, you know, they've just been my eyes playing with me. Yeah. said it was against his order to have something so precious. Fuck if I know. But I know it's magic. I tried to cut this thing for parts and it got scrapped. Alright. So do you want it or not?
Give me 1 second. I turn back to my party. Okay, guys. So, it does kind of sound like something that we would want. I personally think that it would help me. If nothing else, it would definitely help Eleanor, as she's so limited on armor anyway. So we've got multiple uses out of it. Now I think we might be able to reduce the price by also giving him a few of the items that we currently possess. I've got...
While you're having that thought, because you guys took a little too long, you are immediately startled with the entire ground around you shaking. The earth around you seems to almost quake in unison. And you can see outside the door, there are people running and screaming away. You can see multiple layers of these heavily armored individuals are running towards where you guys came from, where one of the gates was. Upon exiting and following them, you can see that the Drake was off. Going in front of the gate, you can see that it has been completely closed off. The several layers and walls you now see have formed 3 or 4 solid, impassable walls. The entirety of the upper echelon is on top of the walls that seem to be firing down. In front of the gated area, you can see rows upon rows of soldiers having weird weaponry that you once saw a weird cleric you once knew have, but these are longer versions. And you can see them begin to lay down suppressing fire, just laying down these whizzing bolts of blue lead just through the gate. Looking through it, you can see an army that you haven't seen since you guys were first here. As an entire armada is currently beseeching the walls. Even for what little glances you can before the guards push you completely out of the way, you can see siege engines upon siege engines. Looking up into the sky, you can see dozens and dozens of these large plumes of black smoke, as if entire war camps seem to have sprung up out of the ground. Every instant, you can hear another crash upon the walls. You can see cracks cutting into them. You can see that women and children are currently running in fear. Whatever men and able bodies are there are still trying to reinforce everything, or are trying to move out who can't. In a few short minutes, the gate that you once entered in now has over 100 individuals currently manning it down. Some lining up firing lines, some others repairing walls. A good some of them seem to be setting up a small, not a small barricade, but a small encampment. Setting up cots, setting up triage. And even though these uncountable numbers of individuals are defending the gate, it doesn't seem to be enough, as more than a few individuals get to the actual gate. Some of you've seen orcs, goblins, hobgoblins, gnolls. More than a few giants you can see are storming up and just crashing in these huge stormcatcher trees just into the wall, crashing into it. Multiple different archmages are all now coming in to try and reinforce everything. It is an onslaught that doesn't seem to have any casualty. That is, until the entirety of the ground shakes again. The entire city seems to almost tilt with this attack. As for the first time, you can see what's causing it. The barrier above you starts to crack before trying to fill itself back in, as these huge waves of sparks and steel begin to rain down upon it. Each of them cascading down upon the civilian populace, lighting a couple buildings on fire, some even wounding some individuals who were not fast enough to get out of the way. Climbing up on one of the tallest buildings you have access to, you can overlook the wall just barely, and you can see off in the distance what's causing this. As this small gray spire just looms over in the distance, miles upon miles out. But at every instance, you see a flash of bright white light, followed by another cacophonous crash against the barriers. Each one of those seemingly taking more and more damage to it. That is until you can see some people crying out towards the center, and they point towards the middle. And you see the beam of light that comes out of the city normally breaks slightly, and you can see a small dark figure, too small to make out any details, rise up within it and reach to the top of the largest barrier. It is upon entering there that you can see these hexagonal glass panes form around the city, just interlocking all the way around as another volley crashes into it, though this time not actually shaking the city itself. You can see these hexagonal panels keep moving more and more, swirling around until it eventually crosses over in front of the gates that you used to get here. Though no soldier takes this as a sign of relief, as they still man up assaults, as they still begin to reinforce the different areas. Different sections seem to be almost now targeted, as ballistas, catapults, trebuchets, and other siege engines seem to be still crashing in. And you now know why they call this the Calamity season. And that's where we're going to end it for today.
This time, we weren't the ones to blow it up.
Oh, no. No, you were fighting a timer.
Man.
But yeah. And, well, I will fill this in for you. The days go by, and the sounds don't stop. You can hear the screaming of small children, the crying of some soldiers. This is a city under siege, and it does not stop day and night. You
But
still
it's normal.
Eventually, things begin to settle down, but you are never at a point where you feel safe or calm. You're locked in for the winter. You're locked in for the winter, folks. And it's a very cold winter.